Yo, 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 what is going on, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love? My name is Jamal Pope, aka J Phoenix, and this is going to be your astrology forecast for Thursday, July 20th of 2023. We are almost through. We are two-thirds of the way through July. Two-thirds of the way through July, man. It's crazy. This year has been moving fast. It's been a lot of interesting energy, a lot of intense energy, a lot of transformative energy. Today is no different. So let's hop right into it, right? So we do, of course, have the day starting off with that moon in Leo. It will move into Virgo today. The moon, of course, still looking for that positivity, expressing our positivity, creativity, and passion. And today it makes several major aspects, right? Well, first things first, we're going to have that moon that's going to conjunct Venus today at 28 degrees. It's going to be around 9:30 to 10:30 or so a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's going to be happening at 28 degrees. Oh, is that a trine to the north node that I see there? That is a trine to the north that I see. Oh, wait, is that also a sextile to the south node? Well, it is. And there's that awkward stare from across the room with Pluto. The moon meets up with Venus today, joining it in this yod energy that it is involved in with Neptune and Pluto. The moon, of course, like I said, has been looking for that positivity, wanting to feel the positivity, wanting to feel the fire life, wanting to feel the boldness, creative energy, wanting to really feel life. You know what I mean? It's something that comes from deep within, right? Wanting to I'm trying to like project my voice right now, but that's what this is. That's what we're looking for right now. This is not like some wimpy pew pew kind of like, even though a lot of planets are coming retrograde, this is a time where you want to have that fire in your belly. Like that's the kind of energy that we have going on. Now, it's going to maybe be a little tough to feel the fire in our belly. Why? Well, the moon is, like I said, it'll be on top of Venus today, which is pretty much stopped. You know, Mars is already like so far away from Venus now. And then here's the thing too, like Venus was like reaching out for Mars. I'm like painting this whole like love story in my head. It's like reaching out for Mars. I want to Mars, come back, come back. I can give you this, I can give you that, I can give you this. And Mars is like, yo, I gotta go. I gotta do this thing. At least Venus was able to call Mars, you know. But now Mars is involved in opposition with Saturn, which really started like the energy really started to build like over the last few days. So now it's like the moon comes, kind of like works up Venus's emotions a little bit, and she's really going to want to call Mars, but Mars is literally in the middle of this opposition with Saturn. And actually, I don't think, like I said, I don't think this is a bad opposition. I really don't think this is a bad opposition. The reason being, because it's like, yeah, there's two malefics, and honestly, thank God that this is happening in Virgo Pisces. Honestly, Saturn is retrograde, so there's this element where I feel like it's not really like this boss battle like we might think it is. This is like two. I guess you could say it like say it's like two like I'm not bad guys, right? But like seriously, think of like Saturn as like the sort of mafia boss, right? And she's chilling on vacation, and then Mars and Virgo is sort of like this young upstart. He's getting his syndication, whatever like that. His syndicate. That's what I'm looking for. He's getting his syndicate together, but it's young. But he has some firepower to him too. But he always does things a particular way, and then he meets up with this queen. He meets up with this Saturn and Pisces, and she just sort of looks at him. She's like, why are you being so extra? Like, why well, why are you like going way overboard with the details? Like, why can't you just do it? That's the thing too. Like Mars and Virgo is this energy where it's like, I think especially up until this point, I think a lot of people, I think we had to get to this opposition for people to finally kind of kick it into gear. Because I think what's happening here is that we have been so critical on the way that we have been doing things that it has actually stifled us from really moving forward in the way that we want to. Now that we get the opposition to Saturn, it's literally like Saturn just looking at us and is like, um, why aren't you like Mars? You don't usually care about the specifics, and if something looks perfect, you just go for it and you're just throwing paint on the wall and seeing what works. You kind of Jackson Pollock that shit. Why are you so worried about every little nitty gritty detail? Just go for it. And Mars is like because Mars is not usually like that. Mars is usually just like going for things, right? But being that it's in Virgo, it can be a little bit more particular about the actions that it takes. This opposition to Saturn, and once Mars moves off of it, is going to unlock or it's going to double down. It's either one or the other. It's either going to unlock your creativity, it's going to unlock you, and just like, you know what? I'm going to go for it anyways. It doesn't matter how it looks right now. It doesn't matter if it's not polished. I will figure that out as I go along, right? This is the first decan of Virgo, right? This is like just getting it out there, right? Everyone wants to think that Virgo is like super polished and super neat free, but it's like they have a creative side to them. But the way that they kind of work through it, and like I said, my father's a Leo, or oh, not a Leo, he's a Virgo, so I've seen this. It's like just the dedication alone. This is like Mars opposing Saturn is going to either just get it through our head or a thick skull that's like if you're dedicated to it and you just keep putting one foot in front of the other and you just go for it, then this beautiful thing will come out of it. It may take some time. You may mess up. You may fall down. You may scrape your knees. You may make mistakes. You will make mistakes. You will fail. But are you afraid? Is the fear of failure the thing that's going to hold you back from the actual failure itself? Right? You can somebody, and I am so included in this. Like literally the last several hours, like the last hour, at least hour and a half, was just me watching videos about writing light novels and visual novels and doing stuff like that. I was like just consumed with that because like there's like this creative aspect of me that's really wanting to come out. That's always been there, and I'm just like, yeah. So in many ways, I'm talking to myself when I do these. If you guys couldn't tell, but like I said, this opposition is either going to just wake people up. It's like, yo, just go for it. Just go for it. Just do it. Don't overthink it. Like, let me go overthink things right now too, right? Especially, we still have Mercury here in Leo, which is definitely having us think about it a lot more, right? It's in this area that Venus is going to retrograde over, right? It's getting ready to, square Uranus too. So we got that element too. It already squared Jupiter. So we were already wondering whether or not this is something that's really valuable so that we can actually grow. And then coming up with the square to Uranus, it's going to be like, well, is it going to be accepted by other people? Is it going to be accepted by other people if I really express and like communicate what's in my heart? Is it valuable? We already dealt with that challenge. Then it's going to come to, it's like, well, if I communicate, or is it going to be receptive? Is it going to be receptive out there? Are the people going to like it? Some will, some won't. That's just how it is, right? So it's either going to really just allow you to open up and go for it, or you're going to double down and be even more particular and wait even longer and procrastinate longer. I'm telling you, like, this Mars opposed Saturn is either going to have the procrastinators, like, and I'm a procrastinator too, like, it's either going to like break that potential habit. It's a great opportunity to break that habit of being a procrastinator, or it's going to double down on it, and it's going to be even harder to get those things off the ground. I'm channeling today, y'all, for real. That's what we have to do. That's what we got going on. Of course, like I said, we have the moon meeting up with Venus, is wanting to look for the beauty and look for the positivity and things right now, but it's slow, right? She ain't going nowhere. She ain't going nowhere. Hot girl summer is done. In many ways, it's done, right? It's like, is she now? She's got to go within. She's probably wondering, like, damn, why did Mars leave me behind? Am I not pretty enough? What's going on? She has to go within to see if she's really following her heart, if she's really trusting her heart. And that's what we all are going through right now. Do I really trust my heart? Am I really following? Am I actually receiving that deeper love, that higher quality, that higher essence of who I really am? Am I actually receiving it? It's an interesting day because I think it's a day that could be a very, very positive, especially because we do have a lot of positive aspects happening. Trying to the North Node, which is definitely asking us to, even more so, to really open up. Sun trining Neptune. Once again, we can have that dream if we want to. It's just things just kind of feel off right now. They feel a little edgy right now. I think there's definitely there's a propensity to feel the whole range of emotions, to be super inspired and motivated to go do something, and simultaneously feel like it's a daunting thing, and that you wonder if you're good enough. You wonder if you're going to be an imposter. You wonder if it's too late. A lot of you are wondering, you feel like you might be too late, like it's too late to the party or something like that. Venus is going retrograde, right? Okay. And Pluto's gone back into Capricorn. And it'll go back into Aquarius, and then it'll go back into Capricorn and come back into Aquarius again. So believe it or not, you are not late to the party. It's just whether or not you are going to make that trip to the party a lot more arduous and a lot more confusing and a lot more disappointing than it actually has to be. But you're not late to the party. I'm just going to say you're not late to the party. So also have a little bit of grace on yourself. You've been through a lot. Okay. These are tough energies to navigate. No one alive has a really great reference point for these energies, right? Because last time that Pluto went into Aquarius, the last time that Pluto could have went into Aquarius, retrograde back into Capricorn and gone back into Aquarius was the late 1700s, right? The last time Uranus was in these high degrees, this high of a degree in Taurus was what? Was like what, World War II? So we have some people that do understand that energy, but they were really young too, more than likely. They were very, very young. So they might not have been aware of it, right? Not to mention, you also got to think of this too. Like, I'm going to see, hold on. And was bam. I want to show you guys something too, because it has to do with this Chiron aspect, right? It has to do with this Chiron aspect. So let me show you guys something real fast. Let me just share the screen, and then I'm going to Chiron was discovered in 1977 by the American astronomer Charles Kowal, classified as an asteroid with the number 2060, November 1st, 1977. Why do I bring this up? I want to bring it up to you that while there were certainly ancient people that knew about Chiron, right? But as far as it entering into public awareness, it didn't happen until then. So we have never had Uranus at these high degrees of Taurus with the awareness of a Chiron. Think about that. We didn't have that. We didn't have that. So you're so hard on yourself because you're trying, because like of this Chiron and Aries aspect where you're afraid to express who you really are. And I'm in that boat too. Don't get it twisted. But some of you are really afraid of that. And now the North Node is here meeting up with it. And we're going to have this moon trying the energy, saying that we absolutely can receive this. And what's crazy about this too is that the moon trines at 29 degrees. So that's what makes this very beautiful, because Venus won't make it to 29 degrees. She's going to retrograde at 28 degrees. So that means we are going to get a sneak peek preview into this energy, into what it means to move beyond that 28 degree. And when we really start to like receive and open up our heart for real. And with it trining the North Node, you understand when Venus hits 29 degrees, it's going to trigger this whole thing that we were experiencing already. It's going to trigger the fact that the sun is going to oppose Pluto going into Leo this year and trining the nodes. Venus will trigger that. And just for shits and giggles, we can go ahead and just look at when that date will be, because it's going to be, let's see, It's going to be, all right. So, yeah, looks like it's going to be right around here. Looks like it's going to be October 7th. Interesting how the moon is going to be in Cancer around that time, right? I think that's interesting that the moon will be in Cancer around that time, and it will be squaring Mars, and the sun is in this spot at the current moment. How do you like them apples? Look at this moment that Venus moves out that 28th degree. Bam, 20, yeah, bam, 29 degrees. Oh, that the moon at 29 degrees, squaring where the north node would have been and where the south node would have been, and opposing where Pluto would have been. I'm just saying. Just saying. So that's why this is really important, beloved. These next few days is that we are stepping powerfully into the rest of the year. And things are about to get fiery, things are about to get passionate. Even with all these planets retrograde, it's going to feel like the most dramatic six, almost seven, back to six retrograde planets like that we've had. Because when Venus actually comes, when the day that Venus comes online, comes like back direct, Jupiter retrogrades. It's like within like several hours. Like it's pretty intense. I think it's either like I gotta look it up, but it's like really close. Like we'll be really close to seven planets retrograding. That moon does move into Virgo today, though, right? So when that moon does move into Virgo, it does get close to the conjunction with Mars, but it won't quite get. Oh, actually, hold on. Let me take a look. So the moon, you got Sun moves to the 28th degree, right? So it's going to begin to semi-sextile this Venus, right? So and then we have, of course, the moon. Yep, we have a Mars, of course, that's opposing Saturn, and the moon is about to be up with this spot. And that's really going to be an aspect that more so goes into Friday. So, but yeah. Um, yeah, this is a day where we can definitely feel motivated and inspired to move forward. But it's also a day where we can get so caught up on the past and our past failures and how things may not look as beautiful as we want, things may not be as pretty as we want, and then we start to uncover sort of the underside of a lot of these things, and we had to figure out why things aren't as shiny as we thought they were. Um, but this also comes down to like, are we willing to put in the work and the effort? This is really that Mars opposed Saturn thing, which is massive, right? I think this is going to be a thing. This can be like a massive breakthrough for people. And here's the thing about breakthroughs too. There are multiple opportunities for breakthroughs. The universe provides them, right? This is one of those. This is a powerful one because it's on the Pisces Virgo axis and has to do with Saturn and Mars. Um, this is a very powerful potential breakthrough moment. But like I said, you're not late to the party. No one's late to the party. That's what I'm saying. It's not. You know, this is not a. It's funny. This is not necessarily a by invitation only. This is like an open invitation by the universe, but you have to be willing to, put on that nice dress, put on that tux, and actually like make your way to the party and stuff. You know what I mean? And not be afraid to express and be yourself and show up in all of your glory and all of your shine and all your brightness, right? Even own your light, own your dark. You know what I'm saying? Own your positive stuff, own your shit. Like it's all of that stuff, right? We all have things like that, So own it. Then this is also about radical ownership in many ways. So this is going to provide a day where we can definitely have a very powerful breakthrough. And like I said, the breakthrough doesn't necessarily have to appear powerful. It can be a simple action that you take today that makes a huge difference. Now, what's going to sustain it is by remaining consistent. And I think that's going to be one of the lessons of Mars and Virgo, is how to have powerful, consistent action that aligns with, you know, what we love, that aligns with our truth, and aligns with how we confidently express ourselves, right? So that's going to be one of the lessons. So if you don't get it right away, it's okay. You know what I mean? If you feel like you don't necessarily have a breakthrough today, that's okay too. Just allow things to kind of come in time. Put your best foot forward today and just keep going at it. And then you'll see over time. A lot of times with the breakthroughs, we don't necessarily notice the breakthrough until later on in the story. That's generally how it goes. It's like you don't know you don't know when something could like potentially trigger like this massive event in your life. Usually you don't notice it until afterwards. It's like hindsight's 2020, right? So that's what today is. So if it doesn't feel like it necessarily, just you know at the end of the day, it's like you'd be like, well, that just seemed like a normal day. You just be like, you know what? Well, it is what it is. I'm gonna attack the day tomorrow. This is where I'm gonna enjoy my evening. I'm gonna attack the day tomorrow, and I'm gonna get after it. And just keep doing that. And then one day you'll look back and be like, oh wait, that was a pretty major breakthrough. But like I said, it's not like the universe just gives us one opportunity for breakthrough. We get multiple opportunities for breakthrough. This is just one that I think is pretty massive. I think that you should be aware of. You should be cognizant of. Let's get into the cards for today. So I am using my new tarot deck. I'm also using another oracle card deck that I haven't used in a while. So this is gonna be interesting. This is actually one of the first oracle card decks that I bought. It's like an animal like totem message card. So it's gonna be pretty cool. I've given this deck a really, really, really good shuffle. So we will see how it works. But yeah, so let's see what we got here. Okay, so I have the Four of Discs in reverse. That's still going to be that first card for you. And then I have the Ace of Discs. And then we'll see if they all are reverse. They actually aren't all reverse. I got the Hanged Man too. Wow, interesting. So Four of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Hanged Man. Yeah, this is definitely a thing where it's like, are you willing to really put yourself out there? This is the Hanged Man. This is like trusting the universe, and just there's this element here where it's like we may be afraid to put ourselves out there because we are worried whether or not someone will see the value in it. Being that this is reverse, I think this is being that this is reverse. This is like you are actually holding on to something that could potentially pretty freaking dope. We have the Ace of Pentacles here as well. So it's like you holding on to this thing and keeping it on the DL potentially, and like it could actually be really holding you back. I'm gonna cut the deck so I can get one more card. Oh yeah, there's definitely a calling here. Look at that. We got the card of the this is actually the Judgment card. So, or Aeon in this one. Are you in this deck? It's interesting. I feel like they're in the underworld. That's what it feels like. But I feel like with this one, it's more like a feeling. It's a feeling, right? There's certainly this call right now, right? To those that feel maybe a sort of feeling of the underworld in a sense. Maybe this feeling of doom, that they're too late, that they're not good enough. There's this calling to really embrace their value and embrace what they had to give to the world. It was reversed, but if you embrace it, and stop just holding on. I mean, when it's upright, it's like you're just holding on to it, right? But she's like showcasing what she has. And it's interesting how three of the pentacles are facing, and one of the pentacles she's actually standing on. So I think it's kind of interesting. I think it kind of actually makes this four pentacles a little bit more humble in a sense. So there's a sense here that you have been too humble with your creativity. You have been too humble with a lot of the gifts that you have to offer the world. And that's why you may feel like you're kind of just hanging there, right? But it's like, are you willing to just like, I call the Hangman, I call it the dandelion card, because it's just like dandelions wafting in the wind. Are you ready to answer the call? Are you ready to answer the call and move forward into something very powerful? I'm telling you, like the fact that this card came up lets me know that today's a breakthrough kind of moment. It lets me know that today can have a break, like there could be like a serious breakthrough moment today, right? So let me go ahead and get the animal messenger card because, like I said, I haven't messed around with this deck in a hot minute, so it's gonna be good, good, good. Let's see what we got. So the animal messenger coming forward. Wow, we have the card of the raven. Card of the raven. Listen to your intuition to receive a message from the world of spirit. Listen to your intuition to receive a message from the world of spirit. Yeah, I think that's very on point with the day. You know, ravens definitely have this sort of like they have this sort of dark mystical quality to them, you know what I mean? So it's definitely interesting how it's like I think this is really coming down to like us facing our fears. Because sometimes, you know, ravens, crows, animals like that can kind of like invoke this sense of like intelligence, but also fear because they typically, when you think of them, they're like shrouded in darkness. You know, you have like Raven from Teen Titans, which is Top Girl. But you know, they're kind of shrouded in darkness, but really there's like a sensitivity there too. So it's like sometimes we can look at a situation and feel like it's shrouded in this darkness, whatever like that. We may be afraid to listen to our intuition. We may be afraid to listen to our gut. We may be afraid to answer the call. But this is a day where we can receive this message and we can have like some pretty freaking awesome breakthroughs. So yeah, building up to that building up to this sun and Leo, which is going to be one doozy of a transit. So anyways, yeah, that does it for your astrology forecast today. I hope that you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. If you would like a personal reading with me, beloved, you can follow the link in the description below to my website, jphoenix.com. And as always, y'all take care, stay blessed, and I'll see you all on the next video. Peace out. Take care.